Hello, good evening, and welcome to our client transition Zoom. We are excited to have these on a regular basis to help our clients who are getting closer to transition. Maybe they're getting close to their goal weight, which is amazing. Or maybe you're not close to your goal weight, but you're just curious about what is the next step, what's gonna happen once you get there. So I wanted to go over some things about transition with you guys today. I'm going to, let's see, I'm gonna share my screen if I can. So we can talk about it. So if any of you have, and it doesn't have to be scary, by the way. Sometimes people are a little nervous when they're like, what happens next? I've been doing the 5-in-1 plan and it's been working awesome, and now what? Like, I don't want to mess up, right? So you don't have to worry about it, because guess what? You have a health coach and they will help you, and they will still help you when you reach your goal weight. So they will help you through this transition process. So, you know, number one, stay close to your coach. That's still important even once you reach your goal weight. And we love celebrating with you and helping you transition to creating a lifestyle and maintaining your healthy weight and moving forward, making your life even better. So I'm gonna share my screen with you guys and show you the transition schedule. So you can find this in your Optavia guide, and it just gives you the week by week breakdown of what to do. So yay, you're at your goal weight. It's so exciting. You have been on a program that has put you in fat burn, and it's been amazing. You guys know, how awesome it is. You've melted away, you're at your goal, and you're at a healthy weight. So you're feeling good. And you've been having less calories and less sugar and those types of things. And so if you add a whole bunch at once, your body's gonna kind of feel wacky, and it's not gonna be the best way to transition. So what you wanna do is follow this week by week guide. So the first week, you're still doing your thing, 5-in-1, still got your plan. You just add an extra cup of your favorite vegetables. And you can add in carrots or corn or potatoes or yams, something that has been starchy that we've stayed away from in our weight loss phase. Now is a good time to add those back in. So extra veggies. The second week, you're still doing your same thing, but you're going to decrease one of your fuelings, and you're going to add in also some pieces of fruit. So you'll see here where it says 2 medium-sized pieces of fruit or 1 cup of cubed fruit or berries. So you start adding in fruit. You're still going to want to eat 6 times a day. And as you can see on here, it says 4 fuelings and 1 lean and green. So that's 5. So what you get to do is you get to break up the lean for your lean and green and have it 2 different times. Let's see, the third week, you're still doing that. This is great. Your body's feeling good. Now you get to add in some dairy. So add in a cup of milk with your fueling or with your lean and green, or if you don't do dairy, if you haven't had dairy a lot in the past, you don't really want to add in a bunch of dairy every day, then you can do almond milk instead. And so sometimes you can just even add that to a shake. Just keep it simple. Still keep it simple, right? Then the weeks 4 to 6 is when we're going to help you get to what we call your TEE. That's your total energy expenditure. And so we have a way to find that out, and I'm going to go through that with you in just a moment, but it's different for everyone. It's going to be unique to you. We calculate with your age and your height and weight where you want to stay as far as the calories that you take in. So that is going to be important too, to stick with your coach for weeks 4 to 6 to go through this transition. So you're going to want to make sure that you have enough fuelings for this. As you can see, there's still fuelings that you're using during transition. So once you reach your goal, you don't just stop having fuelings all of a sudden. We go through this whole process. So you're still going to want to make sure that you have enough. Again, you can find this in your Optavia guide. Let's see. I'm going to go to, oops. I don't think I got that up, but I will now. Okay, I'm going to take you to where you can find your total energy expenditure, your TEE, or T for short. So you go to your coach's Optavia website, and you're going to click on products and programs. And there you go. Down at the bottom, oh, my bad, I forgot. Products and programs, and then you go to Optimal Health 3 and 3 program. So you used to be doing Optimal Weight 5 and 1 a lot. What we're doing now is transitioning to our Optimal Health 3 and 3 program. So you click on that, and at the bottom of that page, there's a great video for you to watch too that will explain this for you. This is a great way to be able to maintain, and so we're getting you to that point. But at the end here, do you see where it says total energy expenditure TEE? So you're going to put in your weight. Let's say we have a woman that's 150 pounds. She's hit her goal weight, yay. She is 5'7", and she's 40 years old, and she's female. So we put all that in there, and then you click next. Then you're going to put in your activity level. Sometimes we like to think that we exercise more than we do. So it's really good to kind of play it safe on this part and guess a little less than what you think you do. And that's a good way just to make sure that, you know, we're easing you back into your maintenance schedule. So I'm going to choose sedentary. If you're super exercise, then, or if you do exercise a lot, you know, like very regularly and actively, you can put slightly active, but I would start with one of those two. Talk to your coach though, of course, you're going to work with them. So let's put sedentary for this and we'll calculate it. And it says your T is 1662. So basically, you know, we can kind of round up to like 1700 calories. Your coach will give you what you need to kind of give you a sample. So right here, I've got a sample of a 1700 calorie sample meal plan. And this is just to give you an idea of what you can do. If you like to, you know, have a list, have a chart, have something that you can follow, if you really like that structure, this is going to be awesome for you because you can kind of figure out what you're doing. And again, you are still eating 6 times a day. You are still doing the same every 2 to 3 hours, fueling your body. So here we have it like a breakfast meal, a mid-morning fueling, a lunch, a mid-afternoon fueling, a dinner meal, and an evening fueling. And it also says 1 free choice. And 1 free choice, that's going to be something else like extra fruit or a treat, maybe a little chocolate, you know, something like that. So that's what these what this kind of gives you an overview of so that you have a little structure. And here's a great example. And your coach will help you with that too. So that is the calorie part of transitioning and being in maintenance. However, the calories are really only one part. We've learned that the second part is balancing your blood sugars and managing your insulin, right? That's what we've been doing this whole time. That's why we eat 6 times a day. That's why we always have a protein with a carbohydrate. And this is what I'm going to talk about next. And let me see if I can get the right picture here. Okay, I got it. Okay, so this is a result of a study that was done where they took 2 groups of people, and one group had 3 traditional meals, ate 3 times a day, and the other one split up the same exact foods and the same amount of calories into 6 small meals per day. And as you can see, the results were amazing. Like the the people that did this, you know, really improved their health a lot more than the people that ate 3 times a day. So that's why we eat 6 times a day. So you're still going to do that. And you've been learning that already. So that's not a scary foreign thing because you've been doing that. If you've been on the 5-in-1 plan, for example, you know, any of our plans, we teach eating 6 times a day because it's important to balance that blood sugar, get that insulin, managing your insulin pump in your body. So your coach can talk to you more about this if you have any more questions with that too. But that's the second part of it, just so you know. It's calories, that your TEE, and it's your balancing that blood sugar, eating 6 times a day. So for example, here's a good thing, like if you're not somebody who, if a list and that structure kind of freaks you out or stresses you out, just look at this picture right here, okay? So this is very easy. So you have, you know, a small fueling 3 times a day for your snacks. And then for your breakfast, lunch, dinner, right? You'll make your plate look something like this. Half of it fruits and vegetables, a quarter of it full of protein, and a quarter of it with carbohydrates, right? Or starches, starchy carbohydrates. And you're gonna use smaller plates. Because we're eating 6 times a day, you want to make sure not to go back to the way that we used to do things, right? At least for me, I know I ate large amounts of food, and I ate like 3 big meals. You know, some people that I work with started out with only eating, you know, like 2 meals a day or something. So we don't want to do that. We don't want to go back to our old ways. We want to be able to maintain our healthy weight and our healthy lifestyle and truly make this something that will be forever. So this is a good visual for when you're putting your plate of food together for your meals. And it says a 9-inch plate here. That's recommended. So you can get, it's kind of like those paper plates that you can buy, the lunch size paper plates, that's more of the 9-inch size. So putting together your like snacks is going to be something like using something from the left side of this chart and the right side of this chart. So a protein and a carb, and you're going to put them together. Of course, you can also use your meal replacements, the Optavia Fuelings. I still use those very often because they're so convenient, and I know that they're already balanced out for me. And I'm a busy mom of 5, so that's just how I, you know, am able to really make sure that I'm continuing with these healthy habits. And then, you know, that's pretty self-explanatory right here. Making sure that you're always having a protein when you eat, keeping that those blood sugars low. And this leads me to our next thing right here. So sugar matters. We have these charts in Dr. A's Habits of Health book. So I recommend looking in Dr. A's Habits of Health book. Chapter 9 is all about healthy eating. And so I would look at that because that's for like healthy eating for life, like past the weight loss phase. So definitely want to read that. Always, you know, use that book as a reference. There's so much information in there that's so good. And it's super important to work on your mindset and learning. Always be, you know, staying focused on that, because that's going to help you to continue on and really make these strong habits. So right here, you can see the glycemic index is basically just how the food turns to sugar in your body. It's on a scale of 0 to 100, 100 being like straight sugar, right? And so we want to choose things that are a little bit lower. So all the green here has lower numbers. They're going to be better choices for you to choose more frequently. And then, you know, the things that are in the orange or the red, they're things that you can still have, but just be aware, just be mindful, just know that, oh, watermelon is a 76 on the, you know, glycemic index. So you know where it's going to turn to a lot of sugar in my body. So I'm, you know, probably not going to have that every day. But it's just keeping you mindful so that you're aware, you know, stay lean in the green, make sure you're having plenty of those. And then, you know, have some other options as well. But it's good to just stay mindful of that. So again, long-term success, check in with your coach still. You're still, have access to your coach. You still have access to our community, our Facebook group, our weekly webinars. I would totally encourage you to continue watching those. Then another thing that you can do that's helped me a ton is to become a coach myself, which we're going to have a 30-minute webinar right after this one that kind of gives you an idea of what that even would look like, just to help you to gather some information, because it has been proven. They have done studies where health coaches are 5 times more likely to keep their weight off long term. So you want to do that, or you want to at least look into it, right? But for me, that's helped me so much, because when you're teaching something to somebody else, then you're learning it and solidifying it in your own mind so much more. So, consider paying it forward. You've been helped and with our program and your health coach. And so, you might want to help out a friend yourself. Again, you don't want to treat this like a temporary diet. Follow that transition schedule, stay close to your coach, and really embrace your new lifestyle. It's exciting. It's fun. And so I want you guys to remember that. This is really, really exciting. When you reach your goal weight and you're going to continue your healthy lifestyle, that's when it gets super, super fun. You're able to continue to have all the benefits that you are feeling and experiencing from having success, and just keep it going. Again, you can use Dr. A's Habits of Health as well anytime that you want. So let me stop share here and just open it up to some questions. Do I have anybody with a specific question? Maybe they're getting close to transitioning and they would like to know something more, or they want to share their success. Just go ahead and raise your hand or take yourself off mute, and you can share if you have any questions or want to share your experience. Anybody else who has done transition or is doing it, or who has done our program and had success?
Alina, I can talk about it. It's been a while since I've transitioned, but just in maintenance, I have people ask me all the time, well, do you eat real food? And I think the important thing is, once you get this transition and maintenance, it's your program, it's your health. You can choose what you want to eat when you want to eat it, because we are in control of our health. And I think that's one of the biggest keys. Is as soon as you tell yourself, I can't have something, your body is going to want it. Your mind is going to crave that. And so I think as you near transition, it's not a matter of, I can never have ice cream again, or I can never have this again, or it's finding a balance to where, just like with the fruits, you don't eat ice cream every night. You find that balance of what works for you, but you have the ability, and that's why I love Optavia, because we aren't restricted. We're able to have whatever we want within reason, as long as we're using our minds to think about what that will mean for our ultimate goal. And that's what I've loved about it.
Thank you for sharing that, Cami. I love that. It is so true. One thing I love about our program, how it helped me in my life the most, is to give me empowerment, to help me feel like I do have control, and I can do things that maybe I thought that I couldn't do before. And when it comes to transition, keep going with that empowered feeling that you feel while you're having success on our program. In the weight loss phase, continue it on. The program doesn't stop there. The program goes on to optimizing our health and becoming the best we can be. And so I love that. And I love that what you're saying is, yeah, absolutely. We
even have my phone with me.
We are able to, make choices. And did somebody else have a question? Off mute.
Janae, you're off of mute.
There we go. I just muted her.
Okay.
All right. Well, I love this. Does anybody want to share like their success that they've had on program? Like tell me how much weight you've lost so far. Anybody?
I will brag for Gary. He's being shy, but Gary is Dave's client, and Dave just put it in the chat. But I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Gary, that you just broke the 50-pound barrier. You just lost to your 50th pound, and I believe, I don't know the exact start date. He started, I think, like he ordered his food the end of December, so he started the very beginning of January, which is amazing. So
amazing.
He's doing so good.
Congratulations, that's awesome.
He started December 30th. There you go. I don't think Dave can talk, but he's messaging it.
That's okay, that works too. Yeah, we've got the group chat going here. Yeah, you can even just put it in the chat. I lost 45 pounds after having my last baby. So that was super exciting.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Gary, I think Gary's, are you trying to get your audio to work, Gary? There's a little, if you're on your phone on the left-hand corner, it says something like connect audio or, I can't remember. I don't have it on my phone. Anyone remember what it is? Karen, do you know what the button says? Like connect to my audio, my phone audio?
Yeah, it does. It usually happens right when you log in.
Mm-hmm.
So he might just be on mute and not realize how to get off.
Yeah, that's okay. Well, Dave said he's within 10 to 15 of his goal weight, so that's awesome. So he's almost getting to that point where he can think about transition.
Yeah, that's perfect. And that's a great time to start thinking about it. And you know what? Even if you're not like close and you still have a ways to go, it's still good to think about what is this going to look like for me? I'm creating a lifestyle change. And how am I going to continue being healthy when I'm not on the 5 and 1 anymore? Right? How am I going to do that? And in kind of out in the real world, right? We kind of have a fun little bubble with the 5 and 1 where we're just in fat burn and we're seeing all these great results. We're just only dealing with one meal. And then we're like, oh, what else do we do? But that's why following that transition schedule is going to be so helpful for you because it's just step by step. It's baby steps. And it's just adding things in. And, you're still eating 6 times a day. You're still, exercising. You're still getting good sleep. You're still working on your mindset, like all of those things are to optimize your health. So it's never a bad time to look at this. So good job, everybody that's deciding now how they're going to keep their weight off and be successful with their lifestyle, their new lifestyle.
So Alina, I just kind of wanted to share, I actually reached my goal weight last June and I was really nervous to start transition and maintenance because I just felt like everything's just so prepared, ready, and it's just easy on the 5 and 1. And so for me, it was a little bit scary and might be for some others. So I have found, however, that going through transition and then really just one of the things that I ended up doing that worked for me for quite some time was to just plug things into like My Fitness Pal, or I happen to use one that's called My Fat Secret. And so just because when you get your TEE, so your total energy expenditure, for those that are kind of late on the call today, you know how many calories you're supposed to eat in a day. And I know that I need to balance my proteins and carbs. But actually, it was really cool to put it in and see, okay, I've reached the calorie count. And then it actually gives you those macros on several of those little apps. So it will show you, like mine had a little pie chart and it would show like my fat intake and my carbohydrates and then the proteins. And when I was like, oh, look, the little pie is equal, or it's balanced. And so that way I was able to every day see that I was right on target. And, you know, I did not straight away in transition, but I started to have treats once in a while. And I have to be really honest here. I think I like to be anyway, that, you know what, sometimes I kind of go crazy and I get back into the like maybe the old mindset. But the very cool part is I just go, well, you know what? Okay, I had too many cookies. It's okay. Then my very next choice is going to be something good. And I've also noticed that when I do make those mistakes, I kind of pay for it. Like I don't feel very good. And so those are good learning opportunities. It doesn't mean just because we're coaches that now we're just perfect and we do things exactly right every day. Because I don't know about you, but I sure don't. And but yet I've kept it off. I kept my weight off. So it does work, and you don't have to be 100% perfect. And you know what? The times that I'm not perfect, I learn something from those times. So
I love that. I'm so glad you mentioned that, Karen, because those are some things I wanted to talk about, but I had forgotten about. So I'm so glad that you mentioned it, because it's true. Like there will be times where you do have extra stress in your life or something, and those old habits start creeping back in. And it's really important to continue working on our mindset, because that's what pulls us back into the healthy habits that we're creating. So that's really awesome. But if you do, that's the other thing. Like if you notice you're like, oh, I'm like up a few pounds, like, and I'm kind of going back to bad habits, that's when you reach out to your coach. We love to help you guys. So reach out to your coach. And I'm not perfect either. I have those moments. I've gained weight back a little bit and had to, tighten the reins. Like, it's just part of the process. When you've had years and years of one habit, it's just going to take a little time to keep making it normal. But that's okay. And that's why we have our community to help us. And so it's super important to.
right. So we're actually going to start with our Coach Explore, and we're on a different link. So those of you who would like to join us, I know the clients I've sent you a separate link. Go ahead and hop off of this one and then click on the other link, and that will take you to our Coach Explore.
Yeah, it's in the chat right now if you have access to that.
So if you need it, check in the chat, and then we'll just hop off of here and click on our Coach Explore. Okay? If you have any questions, contact the coach that invited you. I'm going to hop off now. Thanks, Alina.